Hello, my crafty friends. Well, today I want to give you an update on my low spend year and my one in, two out, and the craft things I wish for. When I wish for something I don't have, I have to get rid of two things. I want to talk to you about those challenges that I'm doing right now. I tried to find when I had to buy tires. I thought I wrote it down in here, but I didn't. So I wrote down when the computer got hacked and I had to spend $200 getting my computer cleaned and checked over and all that stuff. But I didn't write down when I had to buy tires, and I think it was in February. Anyway, both of those were things that were not planned expenses that I had to take. In January, I took money. I just out of my household. What do you call it? Unexpected expenses money, and so I drained that down in January, spending $200 for my computer. So in January, I only saved an extra $111.68 to go towards replenishing my emergency fund, because I did have to do that. I didn't buy anything except groceries and getting my computer done in January. I did really, really good with low spend. And every time I bought groceries, I got rid of stuff. In January, I wanted some sage paint. I didn't buy it. I went and I culled out 10 washi tapes. On January the 12th, I saw Tanya's haul video, and there were 8 things in there I wanted. So I donated 10 things and threw away 20 things. And that's it. Until the 25th, when I saw Tanya's little haul video with the mushroom cards in it, I didn't think about crafts again after that. It was like, between the computer getting hacked and Mom hurting her back, crafting has not even been on my radar. I've enjoyed watching a few people, but I haven't even been able to do that very much. So until I saw that video, I hadn't wished for anything, and so thrown away stuff specifically because of that. And I threw a bunch of scrap paper away that day. And then Tanya told me that she sent me those cards. So my wish was granted, even before I wished it. But anyway, because she had already sent the package before I saw the video. I have gotten rid of a lot of craft supplies in my 1 in, 2 out challenge. I also have got included things in here that I got rid of. Stuff that I've taken out of my kitchen to give to Hannah and TJ. And some of it he took with him, some when he came to visit, and some of it we've got in boxes for her to take. Some of it was craft supplies, some of it was books, the things that I got rid of. And the things that I bought were 3 glass bowls and a blender processor combo that it was at the thrift store. I spent, I think, $8 on that. And then it turned out that I couldn't use the processor because all the parts for that weren't there. I bought groceries. And then I went on eBay to see if I could find the parts to fix this, and it was cheaper to buy a new, well, it wasn't new. It was in the box new, but it was an older version of what I had bought at the thrift store. So the one I bought new was even older than the one I bought at the thrift store. But when I got that, the motor base did not work. But because it was an older version of the thing I got at the thrift store, I could use the blender and the chopper and all that stuff with the base that I had bought at the thrift store. So I threw away all the things except the base that came with that one that I got at the thrift store. And I threw away the motor base for this one when I got it. And I'm using the base on that one, which was had a stronger motor in it anyway. And the new blender and processor on that base. So anyway, I bought groceries. I bought stuff at Sam's. I bought 2 bowls, groceries. Some of these things, I bought some canning supplies on Amazon. Some of these things were, this right down here especially is stuff that Hannah and I are going to can. I got hamburger meat, 2 pounds for $5 at the grocery store on sale. And I got chicken split breasts, thighs, and they had legs too. I didn't get any legs, but they had those in separate packages. So you could buy a package of breasts or a package of thighs or a package of legs. And I bought several packages of the breast, 4 packages of the breast and 2 packages of the thighs. And Hannah and I are going to can those. We're going to just cut. I have never done this before. When I buy things in bone, I always just cook it on the bone and then debone it. But I'm going to cut it off the bone, and I'm going to do a cold pack pressure canning of the meat off of those bones. And then we're going to roast those bones and put them in the crock pot and make broth out of the bones and the little bit of meat that I don't get off. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to do that this afternoon. But we got such a good deal. Those chicken parts were $1 a pound at the same grocery store where they had the ground beef 2 pounds for $5. So I bought that stuff is stuff I didn't really need. But because it's such a good price, I still think it's a good thing to do that when you can, if you've got a low spend year, because this is going to make me spend less money in 2 months or 3 months or whenever on chicken than if I bought it then. Does that make sense? Okay. I also, sometime in here, had to buy tires for my car. $1,052, I think. $1,000 and a little bit more. I think it was $1,052. Anyway, that also had to come out of my emergency fund. So my emergency fund is getting less and less capable. But it was there, and I am grateful. I am grateful it was there. I thought I was going to be able to go till summer before I got new tires, and I would put a little bit of money away for tires, but it wasn't anything close to enough. For one thing, I didn't expect to have to spend that much on tires. And for another thing, because I had bought tires for Hannah's car last year and spent $500 on tires for her car that were the same quality, the ones I had to buy for my car for $1,000. Part of that is tires may have gone up, but part of it is that my tire size is bigger than hers. And it's an unusual size, so it's hard to find, which I didn't know when I bought the car. Anyway, I got rid of stuff for all of those purchases. And in February, out of my discretionary income, like the money I set aside for food, for non-food grocery items like your cleaners and toilet paper and all that kind of stuff. The money I had set aside that month for unexpected expenses, which is what I used out of this whole, the Best Buy thing used up all of January's unexpected expenses money and into February's. So there wasn't very much unexpected expenses money left for February once I put, in my budget. The eating out, which I had fast food once. I did not eat out at all. Anyway, those kinds of things. I set I saved $156.31 in February. That's the same amount, I mean, the same kinds of places where I took the money last month. But in February, because I ate out of my stash more last month, I bought more food this month, cooking for me and for Mom and Daryl. And so I ended up buying more groceries this month. So there wasn't as much to save from that. But still, I've saved over not quite $275 in 2 months. Now, I do want to say that in my budget, I have some sinking funds for taxes, for car insurance, for gifts and vacations, for Hannah's wedding and wedding gift and all of that, all the things surrounding that, for emergency fund. Okay, none of those have a ton of money in them, but I am putting money each month into those. That money is staying there. I'm not taking it out and putting it in here, because those are specific things I'm saving money for. And that money has to be saved for those specific things. This is the extra money I'm trying to find in my budget to resupply my emergency fund. Now, you heard me say that one of my sinking funds is emergency fund. And so every month I put money into the emergency fund anyway. And I'm not counting that emergency fund money in this, because but it is going into my emergency fund every month. I think it's at like $100 that I put into my emergency fund every month. So basically, I've doubled my emergency fund money plus a little bit in these 2 months. And it's not as much as I wanted to save. There were also some unexpected expenses that Ethan needed. And I didn't track those things in here because I'm not tracking 1 in and 2 out for Ethan's stuff or Hannah's stuff. That's their own business. But I did have to spend some money on some extra things that he needed this month. So I thought I was hoping to do triple in February what I did in January because of the having to take my computer in, but it didn't work out that way. And one of the things about a budget, if you don't have a budget and you would like me to show you how I do a budget, I'd be glad to do that. And what sinking funds and all of those things are. There are a million people out on YouTube you can watch for those things too if you want to. But if you would like me to do that, I can show you how I do that. It will be a generic budget. It will not be my personal budget. I will, because you have to start with a generic budget and then personalize it for yourself. So, anyway, I can do videos on that though, is what I'm saying. And there were a couple of places also that I did not take the discretionary money out and put it in here, but I did save some. One was hair and clothes. I decided in January I took it out and put it down here, but in February I didn't, because I decided that really needs to be a sinking fund, because I may need to buy clothes, and I definitely need to get my hair done. Sometimes I have to do my hair get somebody to chop my hair off once in a while, because when I do it, it's obvious I did it. So but I don't do that very often, but I am keeping that money there. Plus, that way, if Ethan needs clothes, I can buy something for him out of that same money. So that's money that I decided not to, what I didn't spend, I decided not to put in here, because it really is a sinking fund. It is something I'm preparing for in advance, rather than, I've got $100. Well, I don't even put $100 in. I put $40. I'll just be honest. In the hair and clothing deal, I put $40 a month. So, since I buy most all of my clothes at thrift stores, um, $10 a month for clothes is probably good, because I haven't even bought any in a while. But anyway, be that as it may, I think, considering everything that's been thrown at me in the last few months, I'm happy with the progress I'm making. I have not been getting as much stuff out of the house as I wanted to, but it's been cold weather and I don't want to track stuff out to the car. And then we've been sick some, and I've been taking care of Mom and all of those things. I haven't done as much of that as I wanted to, but I have made sure that I, at least when I brought stuff into the house, I took stuff out like I said I was going to. Beyond that, other than some things, well, actually, that probably ends up working out. In February, most of the things I got rid of were stuff I was given to Hannah and TJ. So, and books. I am getting rid of books. I have accumulated so many books when I would find them at library book sales or whatever that I thought I might want to read. But then I never went through them to actually, when you're going to those sales, you don't sit and read the first chapter or something to see if you want that book. You just throw it in your box if you think it sounds interesting. Sorry, I mean bags. They're actually bags. And so those are the books I've been getting rid of that have just been sitting around the house. We had a whole bookshelf of books we got at library book sales that I kept 3 of the books out of that whole bookshelf. I kept 5. 2 of them to use in art and 3 to read. And Ethan kept 2 and Hannah kept 2, I think. And the rest of them were here. 13 books, 20 books, 10 books, 10 books, 10 books, 7 books, 12 books, 20 books. Those books are books that I took out of that bookshelf. And now that bookshelf is gone. Ethan has it over in his apartment and he's using it. So I got rid of the bookshelf too. I don't have that written down anywhere. But I got rid of the bookshelf. Bookshelves are not something I would typically get rid of because they're useful. And the place where I got rid of it from, nothing else really goes there. It was in my, let's do a blank page so it won't be distracted by the other stuff. My living room, if this is my living room, we have a couch here, and the door is here, and this is the doorway to my bedroom, and this is where the recliners are. This is the opening with bookshelves here to go into the dining room. And right here is a bookshelf we built over an old fireplace to cover it up. And right back here is a little table. Between this little coffee table, end table, and this shelf, there's about this much space. And that's where that bookshelf was. It was just tucked in there. So it's not anything you could even see. It'd be a great place to store extra food or extra craft supplies or whatever you need. But Ethan needed the shelf. And I'm using, in the room that I'm now calling the storeroom where I'm putting storage stuff, I'm using some of the bookshelves that he had. So he took this bookshelf to make up for one of those that I'm using. So we just kind of switched bookshelves. So I didn't really get rid of a bookshelf so much as the space that the bookshelf provides. I just am using one that was already in the room I'm going to be storing stuff in instead of one that was in the living room. So now I have that out of the living room. Anyway, that's a sort of quick update on how my challenges are going. And I feel good that I had some stuff, a few things that were canned, some things in the freezer, because I was able to use those to make meals when Mom hurt her back, when I had to, I couldn't, and I didn't have to go grocery shopping because I had that stocked up. So one of the nice things about having an extra supply of things on hand is that when you need to, you can do that. I mean, that's the point of having an extra supply of things in the freezer and whatnot. and canning food is so that you can use it when you need it. And that has been a blessing. So when I found that chicken on sale, I'm going to replenish stuff that we had set aside before. So anyway, I hope that this video has been a blessing for you. And I love you. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.